Hello all, I'm going to show you today some travelling shrines or travelling altars that I've made, and I know that there are a lot of witches who are into making these little self-contained sacred spaces, whether they be in witchy boxes for taking around so you can set up an altar pretty much anywhere, or maybe if you don't have room for a permanent altar, or there may be some other reasons why you can't have a permanent altar. And of course, travelling shrines or kind of shrines that are made in tobacco tins, that kind of thing, in certain cultures can be kind of like a contemporary way of doing it or an alternative way of doing it. Something you can keep in your pocket or in your bag while you're travelling, keep close to your heart, and it kind of just helps you to immediately tap into your spiritual space inside yourself. So I'm going to kick things off with this first one. This one is kind of like a green goddess style mini altar or shrine. I don't know, I use those terms interchangeably. Shrine maybe is more for a specific deity or a specific subject, I don't know. For me, I think an altar pertains to a place where you have a few different things and a few different tools or a few different distinct areas of focus. So for me, I just call these travelling shrines because, I don't know, it just pertains to it more being small and self-contained. So this is kind of like a green goddess style thing, and I got the like glittery felt from a craft store and just covered a box in it. I've got some flowers on the front, and when you open it up inside, you have like some strong sort of green natural goddess imagery. I cut these two goddesses out of an old diary that I had with some cool art in it, and if you can see down here, you've got some teeny tiny little bottles with like greenery in it and sort of natural bits and bobs in them, and this sort of like doll's house plastic plant which makes me think of the goodness of growth and just kind of maybe domesticating the wild wood, as it were. So you've got pictures of trees in the background behind these goddesses, like photographs of trees and stuff, and then you've got the images of sort of green goddesses themselves to get me into that ritual mindset and get me thinking about the power of the earth and things like that. And then you've kind of got these little images to represent nature and how we harness nature and how we appreciate what nature can do for us as humans. So it's kind of like a little world inside there. So that's my green goddess travelling shrine. The next one is a little bit more kind of, well, it's less orthodox, I suppose you could say. It is my shrine which pertains more to psychedelic spirituality, and it's actually really just a box, but it's got a lot of trippy kind of clashing imagery inside of it, and it's a box that I can keep certain things in that I might want to kind of use as an area of focus in different situations. So on the front I've got an eye, and it says art and emotion and death and dreams, and on the back I have trees, just images, just an image of a gorgeous forest. Inside the box, there's some sort of clashing, quite mad, psychedelic imagery, which I selected and I kind of stuck in layer over layer. And just kind of triggers my imagination, gets my active imagination going, just helps me to focus on different parts of it and puts me in different mindsets. And as I said, pertains more to my sense of psychedelic spirituality, I suppose you could say, and taps into my creative side when it comes to spirituality. And you can just keep things in there, so if you want, you can just keep kind of like crystals in there, or just little objects, little trinkets that pertain to any work you're doing, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a box slash shrine. It's a box for keeping stuff in, but the insides kind of are very creatively worked into a shrine style feel. The third one I want to show you guys today was actually made out of a cosmetics container. It's this little cute, it was originally like a foundation box, and I cleared the last remnants of the makeup out of it and decided to recycle it for use as a little travelling shrine. This one is kind of a shrine which taps into or focuses on contemplation and silence. So on the front you've just got this beautiful image of this figure having a nice little quiet time, and on the back, sort of very, very pagan-centric really, the tree and the heart beneath the earth. Then it opens up in two sections, which is why I really wanted to use it for a shrine. The first section obviously contains the mirror, and I've stuck to sort of Buddhas in there that are in contemplation, and then on the bottom I have a lotus flower that I've stuck in there, and that's where you would put your tea light, you know, and then light it and have kind of like the light and the Buddhas kind of complementing each other. And then underneath where the actual the mat would have been in the original makeup container, you open it up and you've got this secret little compartment. So I've decided to decorate the top of mine with kind of this little light illustration of trees, and then on the bottom I have the Henry David Thoreau quotation, "Sometimes as I drift idle on Walden Pond, I cease to live and begin to be," which is kind of my meditative quotation that I've selected to give the overall box a theme and to give me something to contemplate on. And I quite like Thoreau's writing. It's very pantheistic, and it's there's a lot of things he said that I can tap into. So yeah, it's just a tiny little self-contained shrine that I made, and these things are just great to pop in your bag, or if you're going away for a few days and you know you may want to meditate or just get yourself in the zone a little bit, and you know you fancy that kind of visual stimuli, something to trigger you, something to inspire you, then make one and take it along with you as and when the fancy takes you. Good idea. Travelling shrines.